Hey YouTube, this is Wrestling News from Park Fan 62. It is Thursday, March the 30th at about 5:30. Here are my here is the NXT Stand and Deliver card and my picks to win. First, now I don't know if this is going to be in the exact order or not, but here it goes. First off, we have the women's six-way match for the NXT women's title. You have Roxanne Perez versus Zoe Stark versus Gigi Dolan versus Indy Hartwell versus Tiffany Stratton versus, I think her name is Val Raven. I'm not sure on the last one. Now, um, originally it was supposed to be Zoe versus Gigi versus Indy versus Tiffany Stratton and Val Raven. Roxanne Perez was just added to this week on NXT. I am curious how she is going to do in this match, considering she hasn't wrestled in a couple of weeks. Um, but then you have others in this mix as well who have wrestled. Um, so I am going to say Roxanne Perez will somehow retain the SmackDown Women's or the NXT Women's title. Excuse me. Next, you have for the NXT North American title, you have Wesley defending it versus Axiom, Dragonoff, um, Dragon Lee, and JD McDowell. Now, first of all, this is going to be Dragon Lee's in ring debut. He came in ring this past week on NXT, but this will be his first match in an NXT ring. Wes Axiom is very good as well. Dragunov is one of those like fighters that isn't afraid to bleed. Then you have JD McDowell, which is one of those sick and sadistic type of people. Um, I can see this going one of two ways. I can see this Wesley retaining somehow, or if I had to pick a new NXT North American champion, I am going to go with either Dragunov um, or Dragon Lee. Next up, we have a triple threat match between Gallus versus Tony D'Angelo and I think his name is Starks versus the Creed brothers. Okay, now this is going to be an interesting match as well because you will have completely different styles coming together. Now, Gallus and the Creed brothers have about the same aspect when it comes to their in ring style. And but then you have Tony D'Angelo and Starks. Um, so if I'm going to pick a winner here, I am going to say Gallus. Now, this next one is going to be one of the more interesting ones of the night. You're going to have two in this situation. First of all, you're going to have Kiana James and Fallon Henley defending their newly won tag titles at Vengeance Day back in February, versus Alba Fryer and her tag partner. I can't think of her name. She is known as the Witch. This one is going to be an interesting one in general because of the recent tension between Kiana and Fallon over Fallon's tag partners, the Brooks brothers, I think, or I can't think of their names. So that is going to be a big factor in this match. Now, the other big factor in this match as well is how well Alba Fire and her partner can get along in this sort of equation. Because this is their first time for the tag titles. if I had to choose a winner, I'm going to say Fallon and Kiana will somehow retain the tag titles. Now, this next one is personal. This is Johnny Gargano versus Grayson Waller. Now, this all started a number of weeks ago on NXT when Grayson Waller called Shawn Michaels onto his show, The Grayson Waller Effect, and basically was talking down to Shawn Michaels, trying to get Shawn Michaels to have a match with him at Stand and Deliver. Shawn Michaels said, "No, I am retired, but I know who's somebody who will." And Johnny Gargano comes out. A lot of this also comes back 15 months prior when Grayson Waller was the one who took Johnny Gargano out right before Johnny's wife Candice had their baby in December of 2021. So, this is going to be an interesting match. I do say at this point, Johnny Gargano beats Grayson Waller. Now, this next one is going to be a very unique one. You have Chase U versus, I think their name is Axiom. Now, these are two completely different types. The biggest one in this one as well is going to be if they get over their fears of Axiom. Now, the catch to this as well is if Axiom wins, they take over Chase U. So that is going to be an interesting one. So I do say Chase U will win. And now the final one of this, which I think is going to be the main event, is Braun Breaker versus Carmelo Hayes. Now, since Braun Breaker won the NXT title, he has been unstoppable. Then you have Carmelo Hayes coming in, and he has had a series of wins and stuff like that. So, I say Carmelo Hayes will become the new NXT champion. So that is my stand and deliver card and who I think will win.